I'm gonna do a bit of a voiceover here, but let me tell you, this little chest drawer situation is so beautiful. It wouldn't work for my style, but I think this would be incredible for a more traditional home. I think the details are perfect. This lamp is magnificent. I think the details are exceptional. Look at that brass and sort of bronze paired together with that milkshade glass. It's wonderful indeed. You know me, I'm always gravitated towards candle holders, and these I was particularly drawn to the glass effect. It's sort of like an iridescent color, kind of reminds me of a pearl. These are so unique. And speaking of unique, check out this nice large sort of punch bowl in this silver finish. I absolutely love the details of this. This is definitely more ornamental, and I could just imagine this being used in a dinner party. It might need some repolishing, but wow, very beautiful indeed. You know, I rarely use napkin rings, but these caught my attention. They're little brass shells, and I think they're so pretty at only $6 a piece. Honestly, not bad for vintage brass ones. You know, I could certainly envision this painting up maybe on a nice, wonderful beach house or something more coastal. The frame is wonderful. It has that sort of linen detail. $225 for an original piece. It's a pretty decent size too. I think it's very wonderful. Okay, what is your opinion on China sets? I think they are so pretty and I would love to have one day. I just don't really have space for it at this moment, but I could just see something like this being added to part of my collection one day. I think there's something beautiful about this. This is more of an occasional use, but I would love to use this more regularly, not just for decorative purposes, assuming they are safe to eat out of course. But I also really like this set. Let me know if you have any China sets or if you grew up with your parents having China sets. I think they're really cool. I have to say, during this visit to the antique store, I rediscovered tinted, or I guess stained glass panels, and I spotted a couple throughout the video, but this one I was really drawn to. I think it's a more modern interpretation, and I think, I don't know, it's very beautiful, and I don't know, maybe I'm thinking of maybe getting some for the house. What are your thoughts on them? You know, I'm always drawn towards accent stools, and this one is one that I certainly was drawn to. I think it might have been for just the overall shape of this, and the leather I think pairs nicely with the dark wood, and just the little details I think is wonderful. Could definitely serve a purpose just about in any little corner. Is anybody looking for a highly ornamented piano or organ, I think? Actually, I'm not exactly sure. I'm not familiar with instruments all that well, but I will say this is very pretty and can certainly look nice in a more traditional space. Wow. You know, I often spot some large trunks at antique stores, and I think to myself, or I ask myself, where would I put something like this? And if I had the space, I probably would put this at the end of the bed, or maybe in a library or a home office area. But of course, that might invite more crap for me to fill it with, so maybe it's not the best idea. Oh, a brass parrot. You know, I never see these. I always see like geese, swans, ducks, whatever made out of brass, but never a parrot. Now this is a unique brass candle holder set. I think it kind of reminds me of an oil lamp or maybe even a gravy boat, but what are your thoughts on this? I love love, 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 love ambered glassware, and this bowl is stunning. Look at that. Look at the texture. Look at the shape of this. It's a beautiful form. The color is incredible. $34.99 is a really good price for something like this. How neat is this lamp? I think this would be a perfect fit for sort of a more transitional style breakfast nook or just a cozy corner. I think the light that this beautiful glass would emit would be spectacular, and of course the brass or bronze details are delightful as well. This would be so pretty with maybe some fruit or some vegetables or just something from the farmer's market, maybe some flowers. I mean, the possibilities are endless. It's very sculptural indeed. Here we go again. It's that handmade pottery that I'm always drawn to, and this set of 5 mugs are really wonderful. I love the color palette. I think these are very special indeed. But speaking of special, check out this floor lamp. Look at the base of this. I think it's a nice brass color. It has that patina, of course, and the shade, just a simple drum shade with sort of some cord details at the bottom and top of the edge there. I'm not sure if this light fixture works or not. Maybe it's worth rewiring given how old it looks, but I think it's very wonderful. Check out this large antique beehive jug. It's a pretty decent price for something of this size, and I often spot these on Etsy. Of course, these were used for vinegar, liquor, or just general purposes, but of course now it could add so much design value to a space. Also, does anybody know what this is? Is it a bell or something? I'm not sure, but it's very pretty. Another stunning vase right here, folks. So this one is so beautiful. Look at the colors of this, the shape, the form. It's a work of art, and I think the stand that it's on is also nice. $49. Wow, that's a pretty good price for art piece of this kind. Here's another stained glass panel. This one's a smaller size, but this would be perfect maybe in a kitchen or somewhere where you just want some color and some sculpture and some drama to pour in. Well, folks, as I'm editing this video, I'm often rediscovering some pieces that I missed or just forgot about, and this is an example of something that I definitely need to go back and purchase because this tea set is a beautiful color. It's in perfect condition. Just the design of this is incredible, and I really love the fact that the mugs, or the cups rather, are larger. Assuming this is safe to drink from, I definitely am going back for this. I am like a child at a toy store. Look at this cute little brass duck. I need this in my life. This would be great on top of some books. This Ikebana vase is something I definitely need for sure. Look at the beautiful shape of this. It's handmade, and that's what I think makes an Ikebana vase even more special, is that when it's handmade and unique.
You need to find your way. I know now you'll never change your mind for something that matters to me.
Now tell me, do I need solid brass vintage pineapples? No, I do not, but these jars are so freaking cool. I think I need to go back for these. The price point is a little bit up there, but this is certainly unique. I wonder who made this. Maybe it just says at the bottom, but I think I could use this to, like, I don't know. What would I use this for? Maybe I don't need this, but maybe I do.
Matters to you.
I guess I could add vintage brass bird enthusiast to my resume because clearly I have an obsession with these things. Maybe it might be a problem, who knows, but seriously, who could not love something like this? This is so cool. Oh my gosh. Oh, there's a larger one. There's horses. Oh my goodness. I need to go home.
It's been 72 weeks in this town. I still believe I'll see you again. No matter what I got off the ground.
I can't remember if this is a print or an original painting, but the frame is beautiful, the artwork is beautiful, just a beautiful small vintage little art piece. Now, if I remember correctly, these bedside tables were here last time I visited, and I remember just loving them. They lean more traditional for my taste, but I think the marble top is certainly beautiful. $495 a piece. Not a bad price, especially if you buy something like this new these days. It would definitely be significantly more, and you're getting a marble top, so very beautiful set. If I had a fireplace, this would be the fireplace cover I would want. Seriously, look at this detail of this. I thought it was a peacock at first, but it might actually, maybe it is peacock. I think it probably is. I thought it was a cat for some reason too. I don't know, but the details of this brass is perfect. Now here's a special sort of kitchen bowl set, or just kitchen items, some crocks it looks like. Now, can somebody let me know if this type of glazing effect has a specific name? Because I think it's very wonderful. I would love to know more details about it. Part of me wants to buy these vintage Pepsi bottles and do like a test video on TikTok and see if they still taste good. On the other hand, I don't want to die, so maybe not, but I don't know, would they still be good all these years later? I wonder actually what year they're from. If anybody's looking for a vintage stroller, then I know just where you can find one. And if anybody needs a vintage floor lamp, then I think this might be a good option. Again, it's vintage, so I really don't know how well or safe the wiring is, but I think the shape of this, the design of this is really nice. Just simple, you know. Now here is a grand, I believe, buffet board, and the marble top is really interesting and unique. I think that's what elevates this piece even more. The carved details are also wonderful, more traditional for my taste, but something that's more up my alley is this floor lamp right here. This is an incredible mid-century modern tension rod lamp. So this is like a tension rod where it connects to the floor and the ceiling, and it has this sort of uplight and then two of these chrome spotlights. This is very unique. I don't know if this is for sale. Probably is. I mean, it's at the antique store, but some things aren't for sale that are as cool as this, unfortunately. I absolutely love this. I would love to know more details about this. Now here's another neat little sideboard, or just a smaller cabinet in general. It also has a marble top. Unfortunately, it looks like it has some cracks here and there, but the good thing is that it sort of blends in with the veins of the marble, and overall it just gives it some character, and it definitely makes it feel loved and lived in. I could spend hours at the antique store. I could go up and down the aisles, 2 or 3 times and I will discover something new each time. But I did find some treasures that day, so let's head on home and let me give you a little haul of what I found. Okay, let me show you what I got at the antique store. So in my previous video that I uploaded, I went thrift shopping and I shared a haul. Now I'm going to show you, because I went antique shopping afterwards, I'm going to show you a couple of things that I got at the antique store. There wasn't a lot, of course, that I purchased, but you know, I'll share anyways because it's always fun going thrift shopping, antique shopping, or just vintage shopping, looking for pieces that are unique, things that stand out, things that will start to add some interest to a home and make it feel a little bit more timeless, sophisticated, whatever that really means. But I think it's really fun. So this is probably my favorite find from the antique store. Look at this large, I want to say it's like a ram. It's not a sheep. It's got the long horn. Maybe it's a longhorn. I don't know. It's sort of this like big, this animal clearly had a lot to eat that day. It's kind of more abstract, but it's an animal. It's pretty heavy too, and it has sort of this like terracotta color. I don't think it's terracotta, but it has the glazing of like a terracotta, and overall making this a really kind of interesting, quirky, unique sculpture that I think is, I don't know, I kind of love it. This would be good on a pedestal stand for sure. Anything will look good on a pedestal stand, but I think this deserves to be on a pedestal stand, which I might even include a photo here to see how that would look. What are your thoughts on this? Is this kind of weird or do you like it? I wish it had the artist mark, but it doesn't. So I'm not sure who made this, but whoever did, I think this is really cool. Anyways, I spotted, of course, a wonderful vase. You know, I'm always drawn to handmade pottery, and this is another incredible sort of vase. Handmade, of course. It has I think it has the maker's mark. It's kind of hard to, yeah, it does have it, but it's kind of hard to tell. This reminds me of a vase that I found last year. It has a similar color palette. It's kind of like this, like, almost faded indigo color with some dark purple. I don't know. It's a very interesting glazing effect, and I think it's a wonderful vase. It's pretty large too. And you know, there's nothing quite like handmade pottery. It's the only one, right? There isn't going to be two exactly the same, and I think that's what makes home decor interesting when you're starting to put together things, some things that are mass produced, some things that are vintage, some things that are modern, some things that are vintage. I think that's what starts to make things more interesting. So another cute little vase. Speaking of handmade vases, here's another a little short vase, a pot almost. It has this, of course it's handmade, but it has this like striped effect. It kind of reminds me of a bee almost. It's like this like brown glazing with some black. And overall just making this a cute little pot. Now this is perfect like on top of some books on a coffee table because it's smaller scale. Not necessarily, I wouldn't put anything in this. It's just like a little decorative piece. But overall making this a cute little organic, not so perfect vase. I wonder if this is like someone's like high school project or if it's like intentional. I don't know. We can lean towards wabi sabi for this one. I think this is great. And then last but not least, I also found a pair of brass candle holders. Of course, if I see some brass candle holders, I'm gonna snatch them if they're good. And this was no exception. Of course, it has that beautiful patina, which I always prefer. And I feel like you can pretty much find brass candle holders anywhere. But I don't know, it's one of those things that it will never go out of style in my opinion, especially when you mix it in with other pieces. But these are great. I mean, they're so popular that they even make brass looking candle holders that look vintage, and you can find them at like McGee & Co. or even Target or any of those places. But if you can find the real deal, it's even better. So of course you can't pass up on that. But that's pretty much it for the vintage haul. Seriously, I love this little goat or ram. I don't know, what animal is this? I think it's pretty darn cool. I even like the wood base that it comes with. I don't know what kind of wood this is, but I don't know. Pretty freaking cool. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't checked out my thrift with me video that I posted before this one, definitely go check it out after you're done with this video. I found some treasures, and it's always fun going thrift shopping because you just never know what you're gonna find. And at a thrift store, you'll often typically find things at a nicer price point than maybe at an antique store, which is a little bit more curated. But yeah, I did find some gems. Definitely go watch it if you haven't already.
Just what it was needed.